What's happening, everyone? Welcome to Airbrush Down and Dirty Tricks. It's Thursday night. We are live. It is 8 o'clock. We are on time. I think we have sound. We're recording. And I think we're good. We got Facebook up. Facebook looks a little glitchy. YouTube's going strong. Wade, what's up, my buddy? Thank you for popping in. Good to see you. Facebook is being glitchy, so if you can, click over to YouTube if you can. You'll get a better signal over there if you experience any drops or glitches or problems. But good to see you, buddy. Thank you for popping in. And who we got over on the YouTube channel? We got Dave the Bug Gregory. We got Darren. We got Penny in here right now. And we are just getting kicked off. It's going to be a fun night. We are going to be doing this project here. Do I have the right one queued up? Nope, that was the... I still got the Rhino image there. In that slot. Oops, that's not the one we're doing. We are doing this one right here. Yogurt Slinger, what's happening? Craig Files from Australia, thank you for popping in. Good day. So yeah, this is what we're doing. This is what we started last week, and we are going to be doing it this week. So let's get things going. Sound good for everyone? If anyone's got any issues, let me know. It's looking it's looking good on my end. Picture looks good on my end. So I think we're good. Let's get this thing rolling. We'll get up to our super source. Change up the cameras and boom. How do we like that? We got 3 cameras up. Hi, Mom. Mom's over on Facebook. Love ya. We'll be having a fun evening. And Robert Mean just popped in. Thank you, sir. It's been a very crazy couple weeks. Been a lot going on. My daughter, Kaylee, she started college last week, so Friday we moved her in. So this is the first week I've ever been without her since she was born, other than like a vacation or work trip. So she's been out of the house for almost a week, starting tomorrow. So yeah, it's been different. A lot of new things. Dave the Bug Gregory, thank you, sir, for popping in with that. Much appreciated. So yeah, it's been a crazy week. It's been different. A lot of catch up, a lot of stuff going on, but she's doing good. Proud of her. She started classes this week and got everything settled. And yeah, dorm life for her. And yeah, we'll be checking in with her, and hopefully we'll get her on at some point when she comes back, or maybe she'll pop in on a feed and say hi. Yeah, so things are good. Warlock, what's happening? Michael Collins, we got some Down Dirty Tricks in here. Giving that shout out to you guys, and I have corrected the list. We got all our supporters and members. Thank you all. We got all the gold skulls now. You guys are over a year now. Warlock, there's no bids on this yet. And I'm thinking a starting bid. This is a pretty big project and pretty cool. So I think a starting bid on this should be, I'm thinking $300 to $350 starting bid with how detailed and stuff this is. But that's kind of where I'm seeing it. We'll see where it goes. And then I corrected everyone out in the red skulls, because the red skulls I thought was like 11 months, but it's actually like, I think it's 8 or 9 months or older. So I want to thank all you long-term members who've been here since almost the beginning of the channel, when the channel really hit the ability to take on members. And everyone in the Gold Skull, you've been here really since the first probably week or two. So thank you all for your support. It really helps. Your weekly support helps. I can't say enough about it, so just thank you. Thank you, everyone. And all the new members coming up the line, stay with us. We got way more stuff planned, so hopefully everyone's happy with what's going on. All right, what do we got here? We have this image. This is what we started with, and we did a lot of paper cut, just a recap of some new people watching. This is all the different... I'm going to switch to my reference shot image so you don't see me acting weird. So we've done mostly paper cut to this point and some freehand. You're basically printing out the one-to-one reference. If you go back and watch last week's videos, printed out a few, and we did some of the paper folding technique where you'll cut sections, and then you'll cut sections almost halfway so you can like You can fold them open and spray. You know, you can fold it up like this, spray it, fold it back, spray that. You know, it's a great way to do it. It's like a hinge technique on paperworks. It works with any paper, photo paper, regular print paper. I typically use like a heavier weight cardstock, like a 60 or 80 pound. This is actually, I think, really heavy. This is like a 100-pound cardstock, which honestly is a little too thick because it's a bear to cut and do all this like picking. So, but we ended up last week in this area, and now it's most of the stuff's not going to be used. There'll be a handful, but like I gotta maybe get a little bit on the nose ridge here to kind of get that nice dark popped out a little bit. Just a little bit here, but most of it's going to be texture and grit and things like that. So I think tonight, this is why I posted on a few of the other Facebook channels. Tonight's going to be a lot of texture. I'm going to be using a lot of different stencils, a lot of different erasing techniques, which we've gone over in other videos. So I put some links in the description of some different tools I'm using, different stencils I'm using tonight. So we're going to be using these from Drew Blair. These are his micro dots. And this is, I forget what he calls this one. It's like a universal, but it's got a lot of like eyebrow stuff. And, you know, we can use this to put like individual hairs and stuff like that. And this works really good for pores in the skin. It just gives you that trickery to show people like it's actually skin texture. So when we get in the lips here, if you look really close in the lips and under, and I'm not sure if I can, oh, I can. I have my alternate camera tonight. The alternate camera, which is now camera 7. It's my close-up cam, which is on a boom. Sorry for the shake. But if you look really close in here, you'll see all like the dots in the bone, and you'll see the dots in here in the lips. That's where stencils like these from Drew come out really well, because they have dots and they have these micro dots, so you can use these to get that pattern. There's links. Tommy Ham's also got some dot stencils and some textures. And then there's obviously General Mendez texture effects. So we're going to be using a lot of that stuff in here tonight. But these I haven't really used much, so there's links in the description to these. As well as the eraser sticks. Michael McClung, no, I did not figure out. I almost thought, but I don't think, but it's not. I almost thought it was Mila Kunis, but I couldn't find the photo, so I'm not sure really where it's at. But the other one we're going to talk about is, we've covered these before as far as erasing sticks, but it's usually the Faber-Castells, which are amazing, which are great. But these are the ones you get on Drew's site. These are super hard. Like these can almost be used as a scratcher as much as they are an eraser. Like I can go in here, like see that this paint's a week old on metal, and I can go in and I can just I can still pull little lines out with it. So we're going to be talking about these throughout everything. So it's going to be really good. Let's get back to the main cam. And we're good. Wade Shalou, what's going on, brother? Shop's looking good up there. Alright, so, the other thing is we talked about these last week. It was last week, right? Or was it the week before? It was last week. I stored all my paint in these little guys. So they've been in here a week. And they're still liquidy. So let's see how they spray. So like I said, I think this is going to be a test run for a SEMA project. Haven't figured out, because I have a big painting to do for the Iwata booth. I think it's like a 24 or 26 by 26 square. So I'm thinking of putting this in the center and doing like some type of cool graphics or pattern around it with different color values and stuff. So let's get to it. Week before. Yeah, that's right. So Kaylee went to college last Friday. So it's been a week. So I didn't do this last Friday, the night before, did I? Or did I? I can't keep track. That's how my brain works right now, guys. You know, but yeah. So it was the week before. We had college last week. That's right. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. All right. So let's see. So when I put these in, I went from dark to light. These almost look the same in here, but you can tell in the light they're a little lighter. And then this one is the lightest. So I think I'm going to be working right in this value right now. And even though this was already strained once, I still put my handy dandy strainer. You know how we make these. We've talked about these in videos. It's the cheapest strainer you're ever going to make. Cheap insurance. And I'll strain that right through. Move-in day. Yep, it was move-in day. Luckily, she had a first floor room, which was super nice to have. For me, not carrying all that stuff upstairs. It was great. George Weldon, what's happening? Or Kim, not sure which. Hi guys, we're both. So this is, yeah, so I got this nice, this is the tone, how's that? So which is a purple tone, and we're just going to jump right in. I want to work these teeth and some of these textures by hand, and just kind of pop them out. You know what I am going to do? I'm going to give it a little extra reduction. And I've still been using the 4021 since it came out. And it hasn't let me down. It's been great. Really nice stuff. So, I'm very happy with that. Let's see, actually, we can get a little rougher texture up in here. So let's use a little Gerald Mendez texture mix. So see right in here, we got some nice texture going on. Let's just bring a little bit of that in here. We got a little bit of just... Yeah, I think you guys will like this better. We'll just go top down. For a little bit here. There's a lot of great texture and stuff, which we can just start utilizing these templates. Sometimes I move the templates. I've done this quite a few times where I start and I move. It's like a little flick. And you'll get a cool soft texture from there. Barrett, thanks for popping back in. Do you have YouTube channels up? From Michael, from what I understand, I don't think you're allowed to live stream until you're at 1,000 members. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's the number before you can live stream. So keep putting up content, keep putting up shorts and things like that. YouTube is not like Facebook. YouTube is a much longer game to play. So I would definitely, you definitely got to take it a little bit differently than other programs. Basically, you have to get to certain points and they unlock different things. Like the membership, I couldn't do the membership till 8,000 subscribers, I think it was. And at 10,000, I could open my store and put store links. There's all different benchmarks you hit when you do it. So there we go. So this is where for me, this is the fun stage for everything, because you can do a little ad lib. You don't have to be super exact. But, you know, you want to stay like, there's a nice bit of grit here. So I'm just going to pulse the airbrush around and darken it in a little bit. Shade. Follow my reference a bit, but not being super crazy towards it. You know what? I think I want to reduce this. Like I'm at the point where it's like I either want to reduce it more or I want to go to a micron. But I think I'm going to still try. This is the Eclipse Takumi. So it's basically the Eclipse. It's not anything ultra crazy. And I do this a lot just because it's easier to spray. It's less finicky. And it also proves the point. You don't have to, you don't have to go to the micron to get, this hairline or close to hairline. It's about brush control more than anything. Now it's true a micron-esque brush will probably do it easier, but that doesn't mean you can't do it with this. So I want to get this texture right here, this little. Yeah, I used acrylic inks a long time ago. And when I want inks, basically I'll use candies instead. I like the way candies play better than inks. They're very similar because they're translucent colors. Amanda, what's going on over on Facebook World? Thank you for popping in. Yeah, no, I do like the acrylic inks, but like I said, I'm pretty much I will basically use a candy at that point. But it's pretty much the same thing. So see how just working that little area, it's already starting to come together a little bit more than it was. I'm getting my paint flow, and this paint's been mixed for a week. This was the same paint I used last week. I just saved it in these longer things. You think it's longer, it sets, you still gotta strain. I didn't really need to strain it because when I look at the strainer, it's pretty much clear. There was no particulates in it. So I didn't need to, but why not? It's kind of that mentality. I use what if something did dry up over the week. So this paint's been sitting for 2 weeks, reduced in those containers. So I'd say it's a pretty good example that the 4021 reducer works really well. It doesn't overkick the paint, which is nice, and the paint doesn't start to dry out and get weird. So I'm just kind of studying my photo reference at this point. Doing the lines I can. Chris Garcia, 12-month membership. Thank you, sir, for sticking with us. And there's a lot more people on that weren't here earlier. So what we're talking about, for you guys who don't know, these are all the Down and Dirty Tricksters have been here. All the Gold Skulls have been here. This was as of an hour ago. When I updated the list, so this was what was on set in. So if you're not on here, if you just signed up, you're not going to be on this list. Might have missed you. So all the Gold Skull people have been a year. Oh, the red, I believe it's 8 months or older. So I want to thank all you guys who are here, and I corrected everything because I originally thought the red skull was 11 months or 10, but I think it's 8. I gotta double check that, but we got it all corrected. So I want to thank all you guys. You guys rock. Thank you so much. And again, we'll also thank all the sponsors and companies we use, all their materials and ones that help us out. And Fisheye Filtering Water, obviously we use Cratex. You can get everything at Maple or Coast Airbrush, depending where you're at. My Visionaire system is this little guy right here. And obviously we use our FPS tapes. Not a lot of tape in this project. We got our border, and we got a few things like that, but FPS is always part of the team. And yeah, that's the Visionaire system I use there. Yeah, and that's enough of that. I started making my own premix droppers. Oh yeah, it says you can premix and not worry about shelf life. Yeah, that's how I've always done House of Color. Like, so my House of Color, I'll mix for months. Yeah, I mix a speed rack of paint and just go, and it's really great for production that way. So it's really dark back here. You don't see a lot of detail in the photo. I'm going to add a little in. And maybe just use a little curve to kind of separate this out a little bit. A little Michael Valley curve there. And then, see this? I'm not happy with right there. I kind of went over. So let's take this time. This is where racing's good and come in and just add some little highlights to it. And if I want to make it snappier or sharper, the electric erasers here. What I like about electric erasers is you can do this. As it's spinning, you can get some really cool dots and texture and things like that. So like right here, let me see if we can go here. And what that does, let's see if you can see. There we go. So if I have some texture here, and I want to add it's getting a little too dark, and I want to add some light texture, and I don't want to use white because you'll get that color shift, you get that kind of blue shift. Go back to your white panels the best, and that's why these come in really handy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap it out with a new eraser, so it's fresh and clean. And just pop that in. My eraser's not clean, but might be time. Just gonna stick this in, push it down. You can actually sharpen these too. I've sharpened these with an X-Acto blade to get different effects. But say if I want to come in and hit some highlights in here where this dark texture is, I can just come right across and just... And see how it brought that little highlight out? If I go long, I can drag it, I can bounce it a little bit. If you look really close in here, look in the photo reference. See there's some very fine lines going this way to kind of create that highlight, like there's ripples. So I'm going to do that right here. I'm just going to grab and go from here like this. You can just see them. Up in here in the eye, you know, there's these little glints and highlights, same thing. As opposed to spraying white. But now these you might find a little too harsh. And that's when you're coming in with this, like an eraser, with these are softer. This is the softer side. You can kind of soften those hits. And so you get, it's hard to see, but it makes a big difference here. Like in the eye here, see how they're kind of dots, but here it's kind of soft. So I can take those dots now and just kind of just soften them out a little bit. And I can go back in later with white. Let's see how I can just soft blend that out and see how much that changes it. It gets rid of that harshness to it. So definitely play around with different erasers, different techniques. You'll be seeing me go through it in the night. The 4020 with the sealers, I have not used them in the sealers or the candies yet. Yeah, that's the only thing I haven't used it with right now is that. Wayne, I just looked over at Facebook and saw Wayne with the details. LOL, Gerald's the best. So true, brother. So true. All right. So, but you see, we get some nice texture going on in here, and it's looking really, really, really good. And like I said, this is the playtime. This is where I just love messing around because I can kind of bounce around the painting. And let's see, I've never used this, but even the photo's blurry, but I can come in now and I can just put just some hairs in there, and I can kind of blur it by moving it and kind of flicking it. And then I can shade over them and just see it starts to give that, like, and I can put two different types down. And then she's got a little bit of skin texture up here. I'll use, that's mostly the skull. And then we can come in freehand and like darken some things up. And really just kind of utilize that. You can spray a couple times because you're just trying to make the illusion of hair. But see how it starts to actually look like this hair there, and I'm going to bury most of it out, and I'll go with the darker later. And this is a bunch of hair over here. And to further my spending spree, what stencil was that? It's I don't have this particular one, but if you go to Drew Blair's site, in the description, I linked to Drew's pencils, to these hard pencils, these ultra hard ones. If you're on the page, you can pop out to the rest of the store. That's where he's got these, and this one here, and this is the micro dot one. Let me show you the micro dot, because this is one I use a lot. So let's just pop open to here. So if you look at the photo, and you'll see there's a lot of little dots under here that make up that kind of shadow on the lips. So I'm going to kind of do the same area. Let's see. I wonder if I can get them both in shot at the same time. Yeah. So see how I got this dark area here? That's mostly dots. So what I do is I start making the kind of stroke first of what it's going to be. Like, so it's going to be a stroke like this. And I try to usually keep it kind of clean. Now you start seeing all those little skin dots, and this, some of the lips here too, and I can actually move them and kind of create those lines in the lips a little bit. There's a lot right here where the lips meet. So it's just enough to help. Trying to kind of get rid of that edge so you don't really see that edge. Yeah, there's definitely going to be some highlighting across this. So you see there's a highlight ridge right here. I think I want to do the electric for this one. I'm just going to go straight down on it. Maybe I'll do some flick up. You know, and we're gonna keep at it, and I can like I said, now I'll go back to the soft one. A little soft, kind of erase these textures. You know, the lip's pretty bright on this side. Oh, you know what I want to do? Like the teeth, like her one tooth you can see. You don't want to spray white on it. I got to get a little bit of the lip, and I'm not sure if I have a cutout, so I'm just gonna hit it and kind of darken a little bit. Kind of blend this out a little bit. Really subtle. But like the teeth actually kind of line up with her teeth, and in here it's just really soft. It's like a soft edge. You don't want the teeth like bright white. Just subtle. And then when we zoom out, we should start looking. Yeah, you start seeing a little better. It's still a little harsh right here, but I'll fix that as we go. You just got to soften it. Yeah. Yeah, the microdots are great. Oh, Scott, that's cool. Michelle lost my chat board. I'm sorry. She'll be able to just pop it back up. Alright. But see how into that little bit just starts to help, and I tend to, when I'm doing these, I tend to bounce around to different areas. I find if I stay in one area too long, I have a tendency to F it up. So I like to kind of bounce around the page. Maybe it's my ADD. There's a weird spot right there that I don't want. What is that? There's a dot right in your nose. That's good. That's gone. Ah, there you go. Is there a project? There is no project file for this on the site. This is more of a... This is more one of my originals. I'm sharing how I'm painting it. It's not really for a project, but it shows you if you were to pick a portrait for yourself and work it, this would be a way to work it. So I'm not going to put it up as like a project file. This is more of just an instructional how-to. Usually about 70% of my projects are like, you know, downloadable content. And then some of them like this where they're more like my original paintings, it's going to be for sale. Like as a series, I tend to just, it's more about showing you how to approach a more complex painting. And something like this I think would be cool for like a more of a intermediate to like professional level workshop. This is definitely a project that's going to challenge your brush control and just things like that. Yeah, like if I stay in one area too long, I get... I'm just not... I don't like to do that. There is a slightly bigger... these are on Drew Blair's website. So if you go to the link where the hard eraser pencil is in the description of this video, it'll link you to Drew's site. And you can find them. There's actually a bigger size, which I really like. But that's out in my shop, and I wish I brought it in. Because it really would have... It was like perfect. But see, all I've been doing here really is just I'm adding texture, I'm refining areas. Like, yeah, let me get these teeth all kind of refined a bit more. There's lots of little nice details in here, and a little bit of shading. Very light, and what I really like, what I'm liking about this reducer, and this is what's been missing for a long time with water-based, is yeah, so those were that was the micro dot, and then he had this newer one, which was fairly recent, I picked up. Rod Tickle, what's happening? Sorry I missed you. Dan Powell is here to steal your trucks. Good friends, everyone from Australia. One more comment about this time my brush will stop spraying and end up having to wash it. So at that point, usually what's happening is you're probably getting a little tip dry, and you don't need to clean everything out. Typically, it's just this end cap here. If you just pick your fingers over the nozzle and the needle together, and maybe check the hole on your nozzle cap for debris, that's usually what's causing it. And if that's not causing, I'm going to tell you the one thing, Joshua, which everyone overlooks, and everyone forgets to talk about it on every forum, and it's the one pet peeve I have, and it happens to everyone 90% of the time. The reason why at this point your brush starts slowing down you'll notice the paint just doesn't come out as smooth and as slick and smooth and as slick, and just starts slowing down and slowing down and slowing down. Who wants to take a guess at what I'm about to show it? Does anyone remember? I've talked about this in other classes. It's the most overlooked problem. And give everyone 30 seconds. And I overlooked it for years, and when I started figuring, I'm like, it makes so much sense. So paint, what thinner, solids like chunks of paint, reducer, congealing. Yep, that's the first thought most people get. Not filter. Pigment settling can do it, but a little shake should clear. What 90% of the time we do it doesn't matter what reducer, what paint, solvent, it doesn't matter. Oh, Michelle, the question was, what's the most overlooked reason an airbrush, especially a gravity feed, stops spraying or slowly just doesn't spray as well? It's just like slow. Warlock for the win. The hole right here. This vent hole, when you start shaking it, you get paint up in here, starts to fill up, and it's pretty small, and it fills up. Just give it a little spin, pop it out, and you'll notice you'll spray even better. Why is that? Well, when you started spraying, you had volume of air in here, so as you're drawing paint in and siphoning it, using what's the term for how the airbrush works? Like how it siphons, it pulls the paint off the fluid nozzle, pulling it out. There's amount of air up here, and it starts to London. You're right. It starts to build up some pressure in here, and you start getting almost like Venturi effect. So the Venturi effect starts pulling. Well, it's pulling because as it pulls, your paint drops, and that drop gets replaced with air. Okay? And if you start clogging this, your paint starts dropping, but it's almost like a baffle. It can't bring air in, and now it won't spray paint as well. So a lot of times, that is a huge, huge problem, is clear that. A lot of mine, and they did it, I had showed Iwata years ago what I do to mine. They started doing it on the Takumi caps. I do it on these. I actually take a bevel, like just a drill set bevel, and I kind of chamfer the hole a little bit and open it just a little bit wider. And it works great. Yes, and if you let it go for a long time, a lot of people do this. They'll do a back pressure, like they'll put their cap over because they want to just blow it out. But the whole cap will blow off. So that's a lot of times what it is, believe it or not. And all of a sudden your brush will just spray beautifully. So I'm trying to find these shadows that are in here. This is a make or break. If I do it right, it's freehand, it looks great. If I do it wrong, it gets a little too harsh. Subtle around the nose. I almost can't see what I'm doing here. And I'm just doing very little bits. And I'm gonna just slowly do this. So I gotta know where I'm spraying. And if you look, when you look really close, you see a little bit. That's it. Maybe add more later, but I'm going to run away from this area now because I kind of got it where I wanted it. I swear, Joby. I know, but I try to be careful because I don't want to have. Yeah, the metal toothpick works great, or you know, this is my vinyl picking tool for pretty perfect. You know, just pop in. So yeah, so hopefully that solves a lot of your problem. But it's usually that or here. Very rarely do you have to take them apart. I used the new harness steam back cups on the new water side feed adapter. Oh, cool. I have to look at those. Miss Big Time, you are welcome. I get like cut a hole. Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, we talked about I just straight through these filters I make for next to nothing as I go through. Okay, so we got this big hole right here. Let's get these teeth area knocked out. And then we're going to get ready for a long weekend. So Michelle, I'm not sure if you were here when we talked about earlier. Officially empty nester with me and Crystal because Kaylee is off at college. Did that go by quick? Dropped her off last Friday. So like this is a tricky spot because I got bone texture and lip texture. And I'm trying to balance the two by not overdoing either one of them. Porphy, what's going on, brother? Everyone popping in out of Facebook. Yeah, it still seems to be holding up. Yeah, they're starting to get there. It looks they're getting there. And even at the end, I will kind of go back in with white, and I'll put some final white through the micro dots and hit some of this as well. But we're getting closer. Because this project is more, like, a lot of my stuff is, you know, the motorcycle-related quick stuff, where it's like your really big, flashy, bright colors. Really getting that line work in, you know. But I've been wanting to show a little bit more diversity in my work. So I'm going to show my softer side. But I'm still going to do skulls and cool shit. Just I'm going to add a little touch of softness to it. So like this area right here, which most times you would go black because you'd be thinking that's inside the skull. This is kind of related to makeup, so this is actually her skin. So I'm going to just put a little bit of skin texturing in there, just so it kind of comes in. And then I come in here, and now we can start getting this. I think the big key now to really get closer to the end, because we're at an hour. But that hour, if you go from the beginning till now, you can see like how much all this little texturing and stuff did. So yeah, all those little bits, every little bit helps at this point, and this has been one color the whole time except for that bright purple. Mike Manning. Thank you, sir. I find them a little heavy right here, but I gotta sharpen this eraser a little bit. Yeah, like right here, I want to get, if you look at the photo, you can see it's a little crisp just under here. I'm going to slowly bring that back in. See that? Just softly bring that in and work it down. It almost got a little too hefty right here, but I can slowly bring it down. That's what's nice about the Faber-Castell, the double, because you got a harder, firm on this side and really soft. It's great for getting right in here and slowly smoothing out the erasing lines. And now I can come in and hit a little bit of harsher. I know a lot of people, and Drew gets to use the wooden dowel quite a bit. I'm not a fan of it, but I'm also painting on metal. Let's bring out, I want to bring out right here. I know I keep going away from the teeth, and I got to get back into them. But I want to get this darkened a little bit, right? It's gonna come up here. Scotty boy! Thank you, sir. Thank you, Joe. Details, details, details. Exactly, exactly. This one is great, too, for Gerald's because it's got a lot of small holes right in the middle. But they're a little bit bigger than the micro dots. So you can just kind of get them in and soften them up. I need the finger. There is. So one thing about having all the camera equipment, no matter how neat I make it, I always lose stuff. I'm always running out of room. Ooh. Did find that. Wonder if that... Yeah, a little bit of crisp. You know what? You know what that needs? That needs a pocket GraFx sharpening. Right there. Look at that. Just what I wanted. Back up, soften it. See, it's just that little bit of crispness, but not too much. Let it go back down. Yeah. And now I want to get this highlight right. Oh, the stack of shields. Oh, yeah. I got drawers full of them. I got them going all the way back to before they were made with solvent-proof material. And the original ones were actually, they weren't even laser cut back then. They were router cut. Same as French curves and hole templates. That's how they were originally made. I was talking to the creator of Art Tool the other day. Because we were talking about some new stuff and old stuff and just kind of the history. Just the tip. Go really, really small. Tight zoom. We're just like skating. And they gotta look pretty big at that zoom. But they're really small in person. Yep, we all started cutting them somewhere, somehow, and then eventually I didn't want to spend less time cutting. You know, I have good stacks of hand-cut ones, good stacks of professionally bought ones, my own ones that I developed. And now I just got a laser cutter, so I'll be developing a whole bunch more. So be on the lookout. We got some plans. And it's actually right up to the edge of the lip. Yeah, it's looking a little better. Still needs some work in here, but oh yeah, man, I've used my pack of skulls, my texture. I can't forget my favorite that I use all the time, which is my pocket GraFx, which have all the little templates. Oh, and speaking of laser cutter, I'm going to do a limited run of these. I'm not sure how many yet. I'm just testing them out. This is a little bit of thicker case. Is a black laser etched case. I'm probably going to do something on the back too, or do a signature inside piece. I'm just experimenting with these, so I'll let you guys know if these are going to happen or not. So I might make these available as like a bonus thing. I need all the white highlights in here. Oh, and that's what, see? Like ADD meds. Oh, there's I was looking for that. Yeah, I'm gonna be putting a whole bunch of stuff together in the near future, and then I'll let everyone know when it's available. I'm gonna make it available to members first, and I might maybe do some as a giveaway as well. There we go. See what that just did? That was perfect. Jeez, Grits, what's going on, man? How's the start of the school year going? There we go. That's working it a little bit more. I think I can use this to... as far as the mini ones, I'm going to be doing the glue templates. I'm getting those... did I bring it up? I'm still kind of getting the laser dialed in and the sizing right. But they are working. They are cool. They're just not... They're a little too flimsy. I got to do some redrawing and thickening up of some areas. And then they'll be ready. As far as the micro size, like pocket graphic size, I'm not sure I'm going to go that small with it, or I'm not sure if I haven't figured out how to get my laser that dialed in yet, but I think my 40, I think I gotta get a 10 or 20 watt head, because I think the 40 watt diameter of the laser is too big. So in hindsight, I shouldn't have got the more powerful machine. I should have got like the mid. Because what's happening is it's a bigger diameter dot to 40, so it can cut deeper. So I didn't realize the way that worked. There's like, it basically works like a resolution. And he had said, I watched this video on it. He compared. He was like, yeah, he goes like a 10 watts, like a Sharpie pen, and then the 20 watts like a Sharpie, like brand new and sharp, and the 40 watt is like a Sharpie marker, then like an Sharpie, yeah. No, the lens, I don't know, the lens isn't adjustable. I mean, I can tweak the height, but there's not like an aperture that you can do, not that I'm aware of. So like I said, I'm still kind of messing with it, so it might have a lot of that. And I'm just playing with, temperature and speed too. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta just check to see if I can get it dialed in for ultra small. And the other thing I'm going to try, I think, so my pocket graphics are actually 5 mil, 0.005, versus most stencils are 0.075, which is like the typical size one. So, I got to try the 0.5 material because that's going to change what I need to do with it as well. And if I can't cut out like the mini, you know, then they might go into production through Iwata, an art tool, or I'll have someone cut it until I can. Ultimately, eventually, I want to get a CO2 laser. That's really fine, but it just wasn't in the financials this year. So I'll make some bigger stencils, make some cool stuff, and that should earn me the money, get a better machine, and do better stuff. So, yeah. Yeah, and what they said is the 40-watt dot is much bigger than the 10 and 20-watt dot. Nick, what am I posting? This is aluminum. Well, so you already got, Scotty, well, we already have the Grim Reaper plottable set that's already open and available on McKayFineArt.com. If you've never seen that, pop over to here, and you can look up the Reaper series. There's like 6 different versions of how you can position them and change the hands and the grip and the cemetery. There's a lot of stuff you can do with a plotter, and you can resize it. I'm not sure how it would make as far as a Grim Reaper. I don't do a lot of image-based stencils. I like the stencils more as tools. So, not so much full image stencils, but it would be a cool one to come up with that's, you know, I could maybe come up with one that's based on my vector ones, which could be cool. We are definitely not short on ideas over here. It's just a matter of me getting to it all. Like, my website's trash as far as pictures. I gotta get that going. We've been talking about that. We've been talking about I gotta do a lot of video editing. And then I think I'm gonna be adding another channel for doing all the tabletop mini painting and scale model. I'll put that on here too as it relates to airbrush. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to start another page that's strictly for scale model and tabletop airbrushing and then traditional painting effects. So I'm going to be rolling that out this year because that's something I've been big into for a long time, but now it's ramping up into the more professional stuff, and I'm going to be teaching at Adepticon in Milwaukee next year, which is really, really cool. So I got to start upping my game there as well. I hope to get a bigger laser before then. But yeah, she started school Friday, man. She loves the college. Weed College is great, but man, they are not. Oh, Scotty, well, yeah, tabletop terrain, diorama work, plaster work, grunge work. I want to do all that on that channel. And if it relates to both, I'll do it on both channels, but I won't be able to do anything live over there until I build it. So I'll start announcing it soon, and we're going to start building that channel up. So I'd love suggestions. Feel free to email me stuff you want to see me do. Oh, nice. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it. But yeah, so that's the next thing. So we're going to start adding that to the channel, and because I started building that, the big diorama Death Star, and that's the more scale model, and then I got the tabletop minis we've been working on. If you haven't seen the full, I'm going to upload it on my channel as well. But if you haven't seen the one I did for Iwata, I did the Curseling from Age of Sigmar. It was a really cool. It was a really cool one. Spirit Air Customs, what's happening? So again, we got some bone texture down here. Around here, like I said, Gerald's stencil, he has a lot of nice little dots that are bigger than Drew's micro dots. So I like the micro dots for up in here, but for here I want a little bit bigger. So that's where these come in really handy. Well, you can go old school and wing it, and lower your air pressure. Eric Williams, what's happening? So 45 minutes left of this feed. That's good. I think we got a good amount going here. Bro, let's hear what's happening. So I am building the perfect grade Falcon, and my I gotta really show it because you might have seen it, Scott. I built a full scale, probably 3 foot long, foot tall Death Star trench run, and that'll have all the ships inside it too, all lit. So you'll have Vader's. Advanced TIE, you have the 2 TIE fighters, you have Luke's X-Wing dropping the bomb in, and the goal is to also have the Millennium Falcon set up just behind it with everything. And I actually, sorry this is a diversion since you brought it up, I actually just got my hands on this beauty, which is a new cockpit and a new board that lights up all the back wall of the cockpit and flashes lights and changes to each one. As opposed to just a lit up cockpit, it's gonna have so you can see that's the board. Each light lights up individually and then matches with the yeah, check this out. And then we'll do the decal and stuff, but it's the so that's the photo etch, so that'll all light up, and then we'll put the right decal on it, and everything will blink individually in the back. And the cockpit will do that too. So, yeah, that's a big build. There's some. I know there's no way I'm going to top some of the ones that have already been done. Yeah. So Warhammer figures, terrain. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to work towards all that. I just finished building for Warhammer Age of Sigmar a whole Spearhead series, so they're all built. So this is going to be the next up for painting for the channel. And I'm going to use a lot of ghost effects with fluorescent glow paint, so they have a cool effect. So yeah, that's coming too. So that'll be on both. It'll be on both channels for a while, but definitely Warlock. Which one is that? Which one are you talking about? Age of Sigmar. So that was those creatures were the night haunts from Age of Sigmar. But I have, dude, I have such a gray pile of shame. You guys have to. So if you guys are into tabletop and figure modeling, I need some help naming the channel. You know, so this is Airbrush Down and Dirty Tricks. So I want to do something that relates to it, but like mini for tabletop. Like, I don't know, I mean, tabletop Down and Dirty Tricks, I don't know, mini painting down, I'm not sure. So I got to come up with something. So if you got any ideas, email them. Oh, no. The model I'm doing is, Warlock is the perfect grade Bandai Millennium Falcon. Not the full studio scale, like 4-foot one, but it's the perfect grade by Bandai that was out years ago. You can still get them. I don't think they're making more, but you can still get them. They're pretty pricey, but they're just killer, and they are to spec. And there's all sorts of additional stuff you can do. And the game's still fun, but for me, the hobby is the funner part of it. So I totally get what you're saying. Like, I got a Blood Bowl set that I've worked on. I got 2 full Warhammer armies. I got a Tyranid army that's almost fully painted and built. That one's almost done. And then I'll do my Space Marines. And then I will do... I have my Dark Angels as well, so I'm going to be working on those. So we're going to be doing a lot. It's a lot of painting to do. And like I said, I'm going to be teaching at Adepticon this year, so there's one. Yeah, that's a small one. That one's fun. That's a great little... I have that one too. I have a couple of them. And that one you can get light up kits and stuff like that. That's a small one, so that's about this big. And then the perfect grade is like about this big. And that one's around 400 or so. But the mid-size one, that $80 one's great. It's a great model. Super detailed. It comes with some lighting, some basic lighting. And then you can add a lot more to it if you're into it. So yeah. But definitely need to think of a name for my channel. So I'm using, I like the Pro Krill, but newsflash, the Createx opaques, especially on the new opaques, pretty much crush everything by the other companies. It's not known as a model paint, but the New Worlds paint, which is by Medea, that is made by Createx and is based off the opaque line. They're yellow. You can go put a coat of white down and 1-2 coats of yellow. You're bright yellow. For my Space Marines, I go direct blue. And I don't have to prime with primer because all the Createx opaques, all the Wicked opaques are direct to plastic. So you don't, so I can prime in blue. You save a ton of money. And that's some of the stuff we're going to be talking about. I couldn't find a chaplain on a bike, but I do have a couple. I do have like, I got a bunch of stuff. So, see this cabinet right here? I open that, it's pretty much all Warhammer models. I have a chaplain, I just don't have the chaplain on the bike. And I'm doing some Tyranids with lighting kits in them. I'm doing those right now. I figured out, I designed some expanded bases so I can put a little wiring and a battery inside. So I can like uplight the Tyranids. So, yeah, I'm a big dork when it comes to that stuff. I love it. I don't care. Just hair in here. Just gonna. It's not in the photo, but it needs a little. Something. Thank you, James. Good morning. What time you at there? Because I know Rod Tickle and Dan Powers were watching a while ago. So I'm not sure if it's still on, but yeah, definitely help me with my modeling channel names, guys. I'd appreciate it. Oh, as far as the New World Medea and the opaques, so the New World uses the opaque formula, but they are doing some different colors, and I believe it's got a little better stick for plastics, and they made them thicker for brush paint, a little bit thicker. They changed the body so you can brush paint them, as well as you can airbrush with them. So they're pretty similar. But there's just a little tweak, because a lot of times I'm not gonna buy a little ball of New Worlds blue and prime with it. I'll just buy the Wicked opaque, and I can, when they dry, they are just a little different. So I think there's a couple little tweaks in them, but they work together great. And the nice thing is the 4021 and 4011 all work with New Worlds. The 4030 and the 4050 top coats work with it, and then you can do everything like that. Yeah, the opaque didn't brush well. The other thing Medea just came out with, I'm not sure if they've announced them, is these little beauties. So I have yet to use these. Oh no, correction. I've yet to use these because these are new, but I used the prototypes when they first started. So these are awesome. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the final version was, because I used a few different test ones and they were great. So yeah. Keep an eye on the channel, guys, and if we come up with the name, let's try to come up with the name by next week, and I'll launch the channel, and we'll get started on it. And I'd love to get a few of you guys over there to help me kind of kick it off and shape the channel, because what let's see here. What my goal for that channel is, I want to take my knowledge and expertise in the automotive world and fine art and paint and that side of it. Because I'm not an ultra amazing mini painter. It's not something I've been doing for a long time. But I did years of scale model, shipbuilding. But I also did figures and, like 8-inch, 12-inch tall model figures and resin kits and things like that. I did that for forever. So now I'm really kind of diving into the majority of it will be mini, and I'll kind of go to mini and then diorama and things like that. So, war tricksters. That's awesome. So, but I could use your help. So my goal is to kind of take all the techniques and tricks that I've learned here and how to adopt that over there, because I found airbrushing is not widely used in the minifigure. It's used a lot. It's really coming about more now. But there's a lot of tricks and techniques. There's a lot of bad information online now about how to use it. So, Down and Dirty Dungeon. Might be a little too S&M-y. But I like the direction. So we'll work on it. But these are good ideas. So definitely hit me with more. Mr. Mendez, what's going on, man? Thank you for popping in, sir. Good to see you. Oh, now that you just said it out loud. Yeah. Down and Dirty Dungeon. Not sure that's the clientele that we want on the channel. That's awesome. But, yeah. So, definitely going to be building up that channel. That's coming. I was going to combine it with this, but I think it'll get confusing. Do you guys think it'd be too confusing to mix all the fine art, automotive airbrush stuff on this channel and the tabletop and mini in one channel? Probably too much, right? Probably better to separate it. Tabletop tricks and techniques. Ooh, you might have something there, Dave. Yep, definitely might have something there. Tabletop tricks and techniques. Kind of try to figure where to get, like, it's more about painting and creation than, like, playing tabletop games. But, yeah, that's, I like that direction, though. I'll start wrapping this puppy up. Let's get this nail. I think I'm just going to freehand this. Maybe AI bikini model avatar. Well, that would get people onto it. I think I'm just going to freehand the tattoo. Like I said, obviously for a while all the same videos would be there and here, but there's something I got to put my time in on. And I have yet to do one really live. Like, I've done recorded, but I haven't done. Every time I pull the trigger, I think I chicken out. Actually. Now this tattoo is tattooed, so let's make it look textured. So let's get some texture effects, Mendez. Miniature airbrush magic. Airbrush the Gathering. No. That's a card game. It's gonna be too card gamey. Game Piece Painting Pros. Ooh. So, yeah, the New World set's great. I think they have a lot of flesh tones, which is great because they basically have all the Tim Gore Bloodline flesh tones. I think it's a little overkill, but do I need a code to see you? Gerald, no, you just go over to Airbrush Down Dirty Tricks YouTube like normal and go right to the channel. Should be no problem. The Facebook feed is always a problem, so... I like tabletop tricks and techniques. Almost need painting in there. Yeah, it's such a long name, but... Yeah, the Facebook is just a problem, you know, and I hate to... Like, I almost want to just take it offline and not do it anymore, but I have a lot of family that watches on it, and like friends, and it's a good way to connect, but it just doesn't work well. You know, it's maybe because I'm doing two at once, but I used to do it no problem. And now it's being, like, super finicky. And there's no reason for it. Airbrush tabletop tricks and techniques. ATTTT. Makes it a bit longer, but... Airbrush tabletop, maybe even Airbrush tabletop techniques. Gerald, there he is. Maybe that'll work. That's a possibility. You know, I know in the drawing. It's got this like big highlight right down here, but I don't really like the way it translates, so I'm going to start kind of knocking that out, because I don't like it. Gerald, I love your new that new project you've shown lately. That McKay's TNT miniatures. Like trips and techniques. Huh. Good work. William, I don't know. TNA, tabletop, and airbrush. Ooh, that could make a good logo too, because I could make it look like a D&D logo with the and symbol. I've been trying to do that with the and symbol, but it's like the airbrush and it creates the hose. It's one idea I tried to pull off. But I don't know. But I love brainstorming these ideas. It's really helpful, guys. I really appreciate it. The one you posted up the other day, it was a female face with a lot of different stuff going on. What was it? It was really breathtaking. I'm trying to describe it. It was outstanding. Airbrush miniature manifestation. That's a good possibility. Mini and model mayhem. Whisper moon. No. Mini model mayhem? Mini and model mayhem? That could work. Mini tricks made simple. Ooh. Yeah, that was a beautiful project. Is that a project you're going to make available online to non-in-person students, like some of your stuff you used to do? That would be a cool one. I'd love to attempt that piece. And Gerald, if you have any classes or workshops coming up, feel free to throw up a link on here and a date or time, or if you got anything coming up, feel free. Mi casa e su casa. Oh, Whisper was a journal project. There we go. Okay, that makes more sense now. What the hell are you talking about? That's not a name for a gaming site. Alright, I gotta try these eyebrows. I mean, not eyebrows. These eyelashes need to be like bolder. Or blacker. Well, that's the other thing I could probably do right now for this ending of this project. And I don't think this is going to need to go into a third. I think all I'm going to be doing from here on out is I'm going to definitely soften up the lips and add a little bit more texture in some areas. Because we're at the 20-minute mark. Table gamers, what could go wrong? That's amazing, Jarl. That's great. I've done some private classes. I've done a handful of them. I haven't done them in a while. I really need to do some Illustrator classes for people. That's one of the biggest requests I get, is how to use Illustrator and Photoshop to, like, you know, do compositing and do layouts and maps. McKay Mini Airbrush. McKay's Minis. Maybe. I think a lot of this from here on out is just down and dirty miniature mayhem. Ooh. I'm almost thinking, I think the eyelashes, let me go with the airbrush first. I may actually do some brush work to finish them off. Not sure. The other Scott's McKay's Minis Mayhem, did I say? No. Damn it, I forgot what he said. I guess I'll have to go back and watch it. What was the timing on this? 9:41. I like the other Scott's thing. Ah, what did I say? I just said it. McKay's Minis? I don't know. I don't know. definitely need that little curve on the eye. So I'm going to make it harsher here, softer here. Alright. Oh, no time like the present. Let's break out one of these new Medea brushes. And I want to do some eyelashes and hopefully not mess this painting up. Down and dirty, man. I definitely do better with a downstroke than an upstroke. We'll tone this back. I'll push that in the background a little bit. Zoom it back out. Let's go back to this. I think this is working. I think this is at that 90% threshold. A couple little softening of some highlights in here and there. And I think we have a finished painting. Of this Day of the Dead style skull and face. You know, I'm going to switch these cameras around. Yeah. There we go. Oh my god. Well, those are a bunch of good words now to consider. So, believe it or not, that helps a lot. That's my goal by next week. Then you guys got all my messenger and stuff. Feel free, send me a chat. Would love to brainstorm with any of you guys into the tabletop gaming scene and scale modeling scene, what you'd like to see on the channel. I can start building a list and start thinking of ideas and videos. I want to start doing a lot more short videos, like half-hour things and quick tips, and I got to start editing a lot of that stuff out. So. already lose the cap. I did, didn't I? So I take a brush out. Oh, no, I didn't. I gotta get better at that. I mean, one of the big reasons I built this whole, one of the whole reasons I built this whole studio back here, like all this organizational stuff, is for the mini channel. Because there's so many different stuff. McKay's Mini Man, that sounds good too. Yeah, I like it. I like it all. Yeah, so I think all I'm going to do from here is pick some extra texture. Maybe go in. Maybe I'll do a little bit now. And we'll cap this off. Let me turn the wheel of death. Where's my wicked opaque? That's, oh, opaque white. There we go. Cape piece paint perfection. Shines War, what's going on? So we're going to take a little bit of white. I'm going to put just a dab. Save all this stuff. I'll probably wrap this up in the morning. I like the mayhem part. I do. I think there might be a miniature mayhem channel, though, already. I know there's a lot of really good guys on. I've been watching guys like Ninjon and Miniac and Squidmar. Those guys are just tremendous work. And I'm coming into this as I am not anywhere near where those guys are at. I know I'm pretty good in the motorcycle and art realm, but the tabletop, I'm definitely taking a step back. Definitely checking my ego at the door, because some of these guys, the stuff they put out is just amazing. Especially with the lighting and OSL and non-metallic metal painting, things like that. So there's a lot of really cool stuff out there now. Bourbon and bat. Ooh, bourbon and bat. But then I gotta drink a lot more. And I'm trying to drink, actually, as of after this weekend, I'm going on a full diet cleanse. No alcohol, no bread, no dairy, no grains, no cheese, basically, for 30 days. And get myself back on track. Because I need it. It has to be done. So, this weekend is my last bourbon hurrah. No fun, but neither is the weight I've gained how I feel lately. So, I think I get back into fighting weight. With all the touring I have coming up next year, it's time. Yeah, this is going to blue shift on me too much. And I don't want to do the buff, so I got to mess with it a different way. Oh, actually, it looks good when I erase over it, though. modern. Ooh, modern. Airbrush. Airbrush and gaming, man. Don't know. Yeah, that's kind of what I do as well, and I've learned so much over the years, and I have a lot of old school modeling techniques I used to do that were not tabletop, and then all the automotive tricks I've learned and how to mask and paint realistic fire and how to use candies, actual transparents and build layers for different glow effects. There's a way some of these guys are doing it now to get glows. They work great, but man, if a lot of the table community understood how to do chrome and candy effects like we do in the automotive on hoods to get that pop, yeah. So I want to get definitely some stuff like that. Yeah, so we're gonna figure it out. There is, I think actually this will be small enough where it really won't blue shift on me much. Yeah. Couple little dots. There we go. Yeah, I go back and forth between wanting my name in it, but yeah, so like I want to bring my one of my early next videos I'm going to do is OSL lighting, but I want to use OSL, which is object source lighting, by using candies and also using UV paint. So to just get the different. Yeah. Next level might sound like I think I'm too damn good. How about noob but not a noob? Mini painting. Kind of a noob mini painting. Exactly. Like, I was on some of the forums and I posted up a few models I painted. And, it was like the new, some of the newbie pages. They're like, you're not new. You've been doing this, yeah, you're a professional. Like dude, I've been tabletop painting for a year, realistically. The last time I actually painted minis, they were made of lead in the 80s. So, yeah, all the OSO I've watched was oil. Yeah, they're usually oil, and they're not. It's the majority of the OSL is how to do without an airbrush. I want to do videos how to utilize the airbrush well, because I think that's where there's a big disconnect. And even using my pocket graphics and mini textures and some of these mini effects into tabletop gaming airbrushing isn't being done, so I think there's a lot of room, some great techniques. Son of a bitch. Off track. Just trying to get these little last tones in where I want to... Like when I step back, I know I'm missing... Good all around rock lead minis for the bump. Yeah, man, I still got drawers full of them. When I was a kid, used to go to Eric Fuchs Hobby Shop. We were all over the East Coast here. We'd get our lead figures. We'd get them one way or the other back then as kids. Not saying anything bad. Not admitting to anything bad. Why were they pure mercury? Because I remember them being lead, but I don't remember the mercury days. That was before. It might have been pre-70s. There's a lot of pewter then too. Mike Gillette coming in at the end. What's going on, man? We're just wrapping things up. It's been a really fun piece. It's been a fun project. What do you think? Bright purple pinstripe? And we'll call it a night. What do you think? Oh. This is an aluminum panel, yep. So it's aluminum with the PVC core. So it's like kind of, it's alumicore, but it's solid. It doesn't have the gaps. A little highlighting here. A little highlighting here. Oh, 10 o'clock. Alright, I'm thinking purple pinstripe around the edge. And we'll call it a day. Yeah, I've used it. It's cool. I don't like painting on paper. I've used Drew's synthetic. It works great. I find the aluminum painted properly works the same. Or for me, better for my techniques and how I paint. For him, I don't think he would like it. But this is, you know, it's what you're really used to. Oh yeah, this would be a really heavy and expensive aluminum panel if it was solid. Okay, I gotta stop painting. Let's put a pinstripe on it and call it a night. But I've done some synthetic paper paintings. But for me, it's like, if I'm gonna frame it and mat it, I'd rather have something more substantial than paper. And like, I clear and top coat all this stuff, and you can't do that with the paper. So I'd rather do it on like a heavier illustration board or paper like this, or a panel like this. Would be my preference. I don't know where you can get them. I know if you look online, they're called polymetal. I'm not sure if... Oh, she could get them. Maple Airbrush Supply, we used them in our class, so I know she can get them. So I'd give Donna a call at Maple and see if she can order some in for you. What I typically do, is I go to my sheet metal and sign supplier, and I order a 4x8 sheet, or a couple of them. I order like a black sheet, and I order a white sheet, and then I have them cut them down for me into like 18 by 24 inch panels, and from there I can downsize them myself, because you can just score them with a razor blade and crack them just like glass with a glass cutter. So, sorry about that. Yeah, so sign suppliers are usually your best bet. Look, I have a sign supplier where I buy all my vinyl from, because I do a lot of, I do vinyl lettering on police cars and stuff like that. So I have a vinyl supply I've been working with for a long time. So they don't charge me for any of my cuts, which is great. So I just pay the price of the sheet, and I get all those panels. I go down every other month or so, and I grab Jerry's Autorama. Oh yeah. You carry them. We don't have them up here. Just to keep the overspray down. You're welcome, guys. Anything to help. I want to thank everyone for some of the ideas for the channel. I'm going to go back. Definitely message me. I think maybe next Tuesday. Maybe next Tuesday midday or early evening I'll do some tabletop painting. And maybe on here and just start spinning off some ideas. And we'll register the channel after that. So let's put we're going to put the opaque white down first. I'm going to watch some TV after this and relax. Yeah, that's where I get mine. That's where I get the best price. I find the sign suppliers usually cheaper than metal suppliers. I go to metal suppliers, it's sometimes ridiculous what the metal shop wants. Sometimes they were wanting like double. A lot of the metal suppliers are ones around here. If you're not buying in volume, they're not giving you any type of discount or any type of reasonable pricing. I do like the way this 4021 flows and dries out. Like I can put it down wet and it dries out beautifully. I don't get that modeling I was getting like with the this is very much like spraying with a urethane. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to watch tonight. Probably just going to YouTube it. It's late. But you know what I've been watching as a funny, just light show? Me and my wife have been watching Ghosts on Paramount Plus. with like they got the inherited the big. It's a spin off of a UK version. That's been funny. That's been really funny. It caught its stride after like the first couple episodes. Like the first episode was alright, second was alright, and then it really started getting good. So Ghost is funny. Yeah, the British version's great. We're watching the American one right now. Just we got hooked on it, and I love the characters. I love Thor. It's amazing. And the hippie chick. Yeah, my issue with a lot of the papers is I'm an automotive painter originally. I will hammer through that paper and rip it to shreds with the way I push. So for me, fix that little boop. Boop, 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 boop. That, my friends, is a completed painting. So I might go through and pick a few things out or just tone a few things. I think for all intents and purposes, this is a pretty good representation of this. So not bad for 4 hours. Let me know your thoughts. And definitely let me know what you want to see on future videos. And all the links to all the different things I use, from the Medea electric eraser, my pocket GraFx, Drew's harsh erase sticks and his templates. The links are all in the description, so check them out. Go over there and check them out. So hope you dug this Down Dirty Tricks episode. Hope you dig this project. Here's for scale. You can see it's a good size painting. If anyone's interested in this painting, let me know. And you'll all have an amazing, happy, healthy, and safe, and safe is a key word, maybe a little drunk, Labor Day weekend. And we'll be back on it next week, Thursday evening. And we're going to start doing the tabletop stuff as well. So thank you, Gerald. Appreciate it. And have an amazing Labor Day weekend, everyone. See you in September. Peace.